Hey guys, recently I was wondering what I should post on Instagram because I haven't posted on Instagram since 2-3 days. So I was wondering what I should post on Instagram. So I started scanning my Instagram, scanning my previous post, what I have been posting from since long. So by scanning my Instagram account, I got to find that I am explaining so many topics, I am covering so many topics, so many vast topics on my Instagram, like psychology, motivation, and philosophy. All the three vast topics have been covered in my some of the Instagram post. So here I decided why not to create a video by combining all of this, means by combining psychology, motivation, and philosophy, all three these, and create something new. So while doing this thing, randomly an idea comes to me, and here I am. The idea is I am going to make a video on the psychology of motivation, what drives us to act. Here in this topic, the motivation is also covered, and about motivation, what I am talking in this video is about the psychology of motivation. So psychology is also covered, and this topic is very vast. So I explain you this topic, the psychology of motivation, by giving examples of some of the most famous philosophers. Means in the end, I will share you the point of views of the most famous philosophers, what they think about the motivation. The philosophers like Nietzsche and my favorite philosopher Socrates. So here in this video, we are covering full psychology of motivation, what drives us to act. First of all, let's understand the motivation. What is motivation? The motivation is the force that drives people to act in a certain way to achieve the goal or needs. So anything that force you or make you to do something is called motivation. For example, if you want to top in the 10th standard boards, then this is your motivation to study. So let's see, there are how many types of motivation. There are basically two types of motivation. One is intrinsic motivation and another is extrinsic motivation. So let's understand the intrinsic motivation. The intrinsic motivation is the type of motivation. This is one of the internal drive to do something because it is inherently rewarding. For example, someone might read a book because they enjoy learning, not because they have to. Intrinsic motivation is often linked to personal satisfaction, growth, or joy of completing a task. For example, a philosopher might study difficult concepts not for money or recognition, but because they find personal meaning in understanding life's big questions. This type of motivation is known as intrinsic motivation. So let's see extrinsic motivation. What is extrinsic motivation? This comes from external rewards like money, praise, or avoiding punishment. Yes, avoiding punishment. People are motivated by the outcome rather than the task itself is known as extrinsic motivation. For example, a student might work hard in school to earn good grades, not necessarily because they love studying, but because the grades are reward that could lead to the future opportunities. So till here we understand what is motivation and all the types of motivation. So let's understand some of the psychologist point of view on motivation. Psychologists have studied how these two forms of motivation influence our behavior. Studies show that intrinsic motivation often lead to higher satisfaction and longer lasting commitments to tasks. However, extrinsic motivation can be powerful, especially when the external reward is highly desirable or necessary. Means here there is no one answer about what is good, intrinsic motivation or extrinsic motivation. So let's see some of the philosophical connection. Many philosophers like Aristotle and Nietzsche dived into what drive us, means human, into action. Aristotle's concept of eudaimonia suggests that people are intrinsically motivated to achieve their full potential, while Nietzsche talks about the will to power, where people are motivated to overcome challenges and assert themselves. Well, by the way, they both are phenomenal in their work and I like. In modern psychology, theories like self-determination theory, SDT, explain how intrinsic motivation is closely tied to sense of anonymity, mastery, and purpose. For example, Stoic philosophy emphasize finding internal peace and motivation rather than chasing external validation. So in conclusion, what we get is there is no one motivation that works for everybody. Any concept, as like in life, is very subjective. Some concept, some laws work for you and some might not. So same for here. Maybe intrinsic motivation work for you, or maybe extrinsic motivation work for you. So people who understand what motivates them are better equipped to pursue their goals that bring them true fulfillment. What my point of view on this is that if you are primarily extrinsically motivated, your achievement might feel hollow once the reward is gone. If you are intrinsically motivated, your drive to act often becomes self-sustaining. In this context, I would like to ask you, what drives you to act? It's internal satisfaction or external rewards?